Welcome to Accounting in Focus. Hello, this is Kristen with accountinginfocus.com, and today I received an email from Alexandria who was asking for help with a bank reconciliation. So I put together this problem so we can go through how to do a bank reconciliation. Now, the point of a bank reconciliation is to take the company's check register, which we have here. Okay, so here's my check register. Oh, pen would be useful. Let's see. Let's pick that color. Okay, so to take the company's check register, which is here, and this shows all of the detail for the month of March, and compare that to the bank statement. So here's their bank statement. This would come in the mail from the bank. And here is all the activity that the bank knows about. So the point of the bank reconciliation is to make sure that everything is recorded in the company's books. And in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to match up the items and then record for each one the items that do not appear. So for example, for the bank statement, we're going to have to look at the bank statement and say, okay, what is missing from this bank statement that's in the check register? And then we have to look at what is listed on the bank statement that is not in the check register. So the way that I like to do this is I create something that almost looks like a T account. So down at the bottom here, I'm going to write book. I don't have a ton of space, so we're going to have to fit that in. Book and bank. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line as straight as I can. It's tough writing on the screen. And then I'm going to draw a line. Ooh, that's terribly. Ooh, that is not good at all. All right, let's try that again. So I'm going to draw a line down here. Ooh, okay. Ooh, not great. But we'll stick with it. I think it's all right. The magic of writing on a computer. Okay, so I've got a book column and a bank column. And see, I said that this looks like a T account because I draw a T for it. So that way we've got a book side and a bank side. Now, the first thing I do is I put in the ending balance for each one. So I'm going to say ending balance. And my ending balance for my book is the check register balance. That's $15,000. So I'm putting in $15,731. And I'm going to do the same thing for the bank. I'm going to put an ending balance. And my ending balance for my bank is on the bank statement. That is $16,342. $16,342. Okay. So once I have that, so this is what I'm going to start with. Now I have to match up everything on the check register that is also on the bank statement. So what I like to do, and I'll use a different color for this. Let's see, we'll use pink. It's nice and bright. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check off everything that appears in both places. So if I look at, I'm going to start with my bank statement. Okay, so the first thing it says check number 1253, and if I look at this, my first check written is 1254. Okay, oh, well, let's look at the bottom. Bottom says check number 1253 was written and properly recorded on February 26th. So this is a check that was outstanding at the end of last month that is now cleared. So I'm going to cross that off, and I'm going to put a little check mark here. Okay, to say that's taken care of. The next item is 32, and that was an automatic transaction for 1500. And if I look here, oh, look at, okay, so that was taken out of my account. Okay, cross that off. I've got a deposit of 4300. That deposit ends up, that's in there. Okay, now I've got a returned check. Return check $1,200. I don't see that in my list. Okay, so that was not recorded in my check register. So let's keep going. Let's match up everything first. On 3/6, I've got a debit card purchase, DC's debit card at GasMart for $140. I don't have that either. Okay, 3/6 was not a good day apparently. On 3/10, I've got check number 1254. 1254 is right there. Okay, 1254. Okay, on 12, oh, let's see, I've got check number 1255. Check 1255, 722. Okay. I've got EFTPS, which was an auto withdrawal, 498, 498. That matches, so I'll cross that off. Okay, let's see. Next one's GasMart for 120. I've got GasMart for 120. Boop. Those can get crossed off. Check number 1256 for 672. Oh, wait, I've got it here at 675. Okay, so this was a recording error. So the bank cleared it for 672. Maybe this check was written out in the field. It's written for equipment repair. So maybe somebody took a blank check, okay, and wrote it out at the at Joe's repair. And so this one I'm going to circle, okay, because this one does not agree. So that's going to require an adjustment. Okay, we're going to keep going. So let's see, I've got deposit for 7,300. That cleared. I've got GasMart for 135. That cleared, so we can cross that off. Okay, and then I've got a service charge for 26. That's not recorded. I've got interest earned of 2. That's not recorded. And then I've got a couple items over here, customer receipts and a check to HG Material Supply that has not cleared. Okay, so now that we've matched up everything that has cleared, now we have to deal with the items that have not, that don't show up in both places. Okay, so let's start with the bank side. Okay, so we had a balance of 16,342. And so what we have to do is we have to look for anything that was recorded in the check register but has not cleared the bank. So we've got one outstanding check. Check number 1257 has not cleared the bank. So I'm going to put outstanding, and that was 1257. And the amount of that check is $722. Okay, and I'm going to put parentheses around it so I know that I have to subtract that from the balance. Okay, so now that's taken care of. So I'll put, let's actually change the color so we know that's taken care of. Okay, now I have customer receipts. I've got a deposit of $36.50. The bank does not know that this has been deposited yet. Maybe it was deposited the last day of the month, so maybe it was done like via drop after the bank had closed, so the bank doesn't know about it yet. So I've got what's called a deposit in transit, DIT, deposit in transit. It means that it is no longer with the company, but the bank has not recorded it yet. Now, what's going to happen when the bank receives this deposit? They're going to add it to the balance. So we need to add it, since we added it into the check register, we're going to add it on the bank side. So I've got a deposit in transit of $3,650. And we're going to add that, so that's why I didn't put parentheses around it. I'm going to check this off because that's now taken care of. And then I've got another outstanding check. So I'm going to put outstanding number 1258, and that is for $4,900. Again, I'm going to put parentheses around it. Okay, so that's $4,900. That's actually a little messy. It almost looks like a 5. $4,900. Okay, so now that that's taken care of, we've accounted for everything that was on the check register that is not on the bank statement. So now I can go through, I can figure out my balance. Okay, I'm going to grab my calculator over here, put that up on the screen. Okay, so I've got 12,342 minus 722. because when that check has to be subtracted from the balance, plus 3650 minus 4900. Okay, so that gives me a balance of 14,370. My calculator popped off. 14,370. Okay, so this is what we're hoping to get to when we do the book side, because in order to be reconciled, these two have to balance. Okay, so now let's go through and start recording items that appeared on the bank statement that have not appeared on our books. Okay, so let's go back to pink. Okay, so the first thing I saw here is there was a return check. So what does that mean? Well, it was credited, it was taken out of our account. So that means that this was a check that was returned from this deposit. Okay, so we deposited $4,300, but one of the checks bounced. So we need to subtract this from our bank balance because we never recorded it. So I'm going to say returned check. Okay, and that was $1,200. So I need to subtract that from my balance. Okay, because the bank subtracted the $1,200 from my account, I need to subtract the $1,200 from my account. Okay, so now that's taken care of. So we can check that off. Now I've got this gas mart charge, so there was a debit card transaction which I never recorded in the books, so I need to put that into my reconciliation. So on 3/6 we've got debit card. So on 3/6 I've got debit card, and you can put gas mart in there if you want. And that was $140. That's also going to get subtracted because it was a withdrawal on the account. Check that off. Okay. Now I have this issue with the check. So remember, check number 1256, we recorded it, let's see, I circled it. We recorded it for $675 and it actually cleared for $672. So that means that I've got $3 more recorded here than I do on the bank side. So I need to add $3 back. So error, put that back to pink. Error, and I'm going to put a note so I know what check it is. 1256. And so if I wrote the check at 675, it cleared for 672. 672, I need to add $3. So I'm going to add $3 from the check error to my balance. Okay, so now this is taken care of. So I can check this off and check that off. Okay, now I've got a service charge of $26. The bank withdrew the service charge from my account, so I need to subtract it from my check register. So I'm going to subtract the bank service charge of $26. Okay, so that's taken care of. Cross that off. And now I've got interest earned of $2. So this was deposited into my account. I do not have the $2 in my check register. So I'm going to deposit $2. So interest, INT, and that's $2. Okay, so now I've got everything checked off. or I will in a second because we're going to check off the $2. Okay, so now I have to make sure that my book balance matches my bank balance. So draw a line. Let me get my calculator back. Okay. So I've got 15,731 minus 1,200 minus 140 plus $3 for the bank error minus $26 for the bank service charge plus $2 for the interest, and my balance comes out to 14,370. So now my book and my bank agree. Okay, so that's what we're looking for when you finish a bank reconciliation. You want your book and your bank to agree. So I hope that helped you learn more about bank reconciliations. In the next video, I'm going to show you what you have to record in a journal entry now that you have this done, because we're not finished, because we have a whole bunch of stuff here that needs to be recorded on our book side. So in the next video, I'll show you how to do that journal entry. So if you have questions, you can either leave a comment on one of my videos, you can send me an email at help@accountingandfocus.com, or you can visit accountingandfocus.com and leave me a message through my website. There's lots of other great information at accountingandfocus.com, detailed explanations, walk-through problems. So if you want more than just what the videos have, I encourage you to go check that out. So thanks so much. See you soon.